Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video. Unfortunately, I'm sick. I just came back from Milan like 3 days ago. We're gonna speak about how Milan was and what happened in Milan. So without further ado, today I thought we'd sit back and relax and get some McDonald's for the convenience. So what do we have, you may wonder? We have a super small cappuccino. We have one of my favorite burgers of all time at McDonald's, the Big Tasty. We've got 2 pancakes, which are super dry as we know. You see this abomination. What do you see on this burger? That red round object. Exactly, a tomato. This might be the best burger they got on their entire menu. The rest is dog shit. Tastes pretty decent. Remember, you were able to get these for $1.50 back in the days. Nearly $4 just for this thing alone. It's insane. Supposed to be on vacation for 2 weeks, but we blew our entire budget in like 6 days time. We were like, shit. Well, our last trip I suppose was Milan. Let's go check out what Milan is like. You know, but let me tell you, Milan was something else. We went to this beach club Milano the first night. Awesome. I was pissed drunk. So was she. We had an amazing time. Then the day after, which was our last day, we decided to also party. We met some people in the club and made friends, went out with them for dinner the same day, and decided to stay a couple of days extra. And let me tell you, it was worth it staying those couple of days extra, or for me at least, you know. I'm going back to Milano in September, and if you happen to live in Milan or near Milano and you're like, yo, I wanna chill, then hit me up on my Instagram. Like, what you waiting on? Hit me up. I'm trying to make some friends in foreign countries. It would be very cool going clubbing with some of you guys that watch me. That would be pretty cool though, I'm just saying. Was our last night, right? This is how we met them. Me and my friend were chilling at like 11:30, and we were like, there's nobody at this goddamn club, like why is this shit so empty? We didn't realize that partying only starts at 1 in the morning in Milan. So unusual for us Dutch people, because partying starts at 9 o'clock and ends at 5. Very interesting. So I was like, you know what, let's see how far this goes. We'll give it some time. We have eye contact a few times, so I told my friend I'm a bit drunk. I said I want to approach her, but like approached a woman in the club. That is, I'd never done it before. I don't know where I got the confidence that night to just approach a woman, but I did it. She said, "You know what, I'll approach her." They start to talk. I'm like, damn, I guess I'll turn around, let them just talk, because, it's rude if I intervene. I walked to the other friend, and I introduced myself. Bear in mind, me and her didn't even have one form of eye contact, so this was very risky of me to just approach her randomly and say, "Hey, my name's Keegan, how are you?" Get to speak in a bit, and then I lean over into her ear and I whisper, like, well, I didn't whisper, the music was push hard, right? And I asked her, "Can I take you out for a dance?" That was very risky, because, again, we only known each other for 2 minutes. She said, "Yeah, I'd love to." So we danced, and after some dancing, I decided to grab her by the hand, take her with me to a private section in the club, which we got kicked out of ASAP because we weren't on the list. So I'm like, shit, I'll take her on the bench. And we spoke, got to know each other a bit better. And then she asked me how long I would stay in Milan, and I said, "Tonight's my last night." "Oh, that's such a shame. You should consider staying like a day or 2, 3 extra." So I was like, I think I will. I got a good reason now. I know this might sound really stupid. Do you guys ever get a stomach ache from eating too many carbs? Like bread, for instance, unless it's low carb bread, it doesn't give me a stomach ache, but when the shit's full of carbs, it does something with me. Anyways, long story short, we arranged to go out for dinner that night with all four of us. Then we went to this park, which had a really nice party to it. We danced. And their friend had work the next day, so went in my car, dropped her off at her home, and then I took her friend to my apartment, and we just chilled for the rest of the night, which was really cool. That's one of the main reasons why I'm going back to September, because now I have 2 people that live there that I'm like, hey, I can just hit them up and say, "I'm in Milan, want to hang out?" Which is something you guys have been telling me for ages, is go out and make friends. Now, if you would have told me this 4 years ago, I would have been like, nah, I'm good. I'm 22 years of age. And I do believe somewhat that there is a limit to how old you should be to party. If you're in your 30s and 40s partying every weekend, that is weird. That's just how I think. I, however, have just started my life. See, as a kid, I never did this. I was always too busy focused on school, on my YouTube, and everything else. I had different priorities. I'm not saying I wasn't able to do this, but what had a major impact 5 years ago is I had little to no friends in my neighborhood. Yes, I had people that I went to school with, but you gotta remember I was 16, 17, so there was no way that we were possibly getting let into these 18 plus clubs. Anyways, long story short, Milan is a fantastic city, super cultural, super in clothing as well. There's a reason why they call Milan the fashion city of all the cities in Europe. They're ahead of the releases, like, the people dress up so interesting and so unique. I know for a fact, and this is a thing, I know for a fact if the Italian men dressed up like the Dutch, they will get no gain. You know why? And this is the thing that I have to say. We Dutch people dress up very casual and boring in general. When you go to Italy, it feels like the men take their hygiene very serious. The beards are trimmed. I'm jealous as F about their beards. God damn it, I can't grow nothing. I have to trim it off because the shit never grows the way I want it to. I only got the little mustache, but I'm keeping it. I'm maintaining it. That's my only form of like adultery, I suppose. It's the little porn mustache. Their beards are immaculate. The clothing style is so dope. And I was out of my comfort zone when my friend is also my personal shopper, I guess you can say right now. She picked out some outfit for me, and I was like, no, I'm not wearing this crap. She said, trust me, wear this. We're in a city like this, you have to get out of your comfort zone and stop wearing these fucking training outfits. I'm like, but I like the suits. That's the problem, you're not out of your comfort zone. Take that shit off and put this on. And I was like, hey yo, this actually looks really good. I got a haircut as well. You can't really see right now because I got the food focus, but you get the point. Milan is just a very nice city. Very busy. Is it a city that I could live in? No, not the city center because it's expensive. But 15-25 minutes outside of Milan, yeah, there are very nice apartments. There are only apartments. There are no mansions, as far as I know, in the city. There are no, how do you call it? Houses with. Look, the thing is, Milan, everything is on top of each other, but it's very big. Driving there is a pain in the ass. The people know how to drive, but it's just very uncomfortable driving there in a car. Unless you got some former old shitty car that you don't care damaging up. But if you got an expensive car, for instance, like an expensive Audi or a BMW, you're better off not driving it in there because you're gonna get your stuff scratched by cyclists, scooter drivers, those kind of people. But for the rest, amazing city. I genuinely fell in love with Milan the day that I arrived. I'm like, wow. The local shops as well, beautiful. And the nightclubs are something else. Very good. But they're pretty good. These are coated. Good pre-workout, good for my carbs. I don't know about the rest of the ingredients, but it's not bad. They do know how to party in Milan. Way better than the Dutch, and it's more pleasant, if that makes any sense. Like, people don't go to parties to look for fights, unlike here. It's the same shit every goddamn place you go at, man. It's the it's the guys. Also, guys are the problem. You see, if you go to a club full of beautiful women and you got a club full of good-looking men, yeah, there's bound to go some stuff down. Because, you know, when there's women around guys, there's always this one person that needs to step up their ego and their alpha male and be the big wolf, I suppose. And that destroys it. In the 4 times we partied, none of that happened. Everyone was having an amazing time. You could approach majority of the people, have a nice conversation. And that's the nice thing about going out, is that you get to know people that you're like, hey, never seen you before. It's not a thing in the Netherlands. At least I haven't experienced it like that. The last time I went to a party here was in Tilburg 3 months ago. 4 months ago. It was okay. It was just a very crowded place, and that's one thing as well. The clubs are massive in Italy. You can actually dance and actually move and walk around without having to be cramped up in the space. Just shout out to my Italians. I've always loved Italy, but now I even love it more. I sometimes really wonder where these voice cracks come from. I don't even know myself. Really forgot to tell you guys, it's Mama Duke's birthday today. I don't even know how old my mom is turned today. The best woman in my life. My brother always said in Dutch, ik hou van alle vrouwen, maar er is één vrouw die altijd in mijn hart blijft. Dat is mijn moeder. Basically translates to, I love all women, but there's one I love the most, and that's my mother. And I'm very aware of the fact that not everyone has a good bond with their parents, and that's a shame. It really is, because parents should be people that you should be able to look up to and be able to trust. But unfortunately, I cannot and do not speak for everyone else, their relationship. Some of you watching probably have no relationship with any of your parents, and yeah, I couldn't imagine that. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I know what it feels like. Absolutely not. My parents have always been there for me, and maybe sometimes too often. Even I think sometimes maybe they've been there too often for me. In some situations, I feel like maybe that is sometimes a problem, and it is sometimes a bit of a problem. They're too much, you know, but I also tell them nowadays, like, hey, appreciate you guys helping, but I gotta learn myself. I gotta teach myself. I don't need you guys' help. If I want you guys' help, I'll ask for it. Although that is a thing with me, I don't always ask. I'm stubborn, kind of like my dad. And some of you have been wondering and asking, why is my dad on any videos? Listen, he's very busy with work. He does not have the time, unfortunately, and when he does, he's very, very tired. Okay, we're doing projects on the farm right now, and we just have no time. But besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I shall see you in a couple of days.